everyone, and welcome to another one of our Red Vest approved videos. I'm Chef Jason Morse, your Ace Hardware grill expert, and we're here hanging out on YouTube today talking about something I think is epic. That's right, big green egg and lamb. We are going to be talking about lamb today on our big green egg. What makes it even more special to me is we're talking Colorado lamb today. We love Colorado lamb, that rich, juicy, hearty, robust lamb flavor. We called it like lamb with altitude, right? And as always, we've got a recipe for you. You can go to acehardware.com/tips and advice. Up in the little search bar, type in recipes. You can download this bad boy and enjoy lamb whenever you want. Not just in the spring, not just in the summer, all year long. A lot of cool things we've got. We're gonna be talking about our Game On rub today. Excellent for lamb, for wild game. The best part is, check this out. We're gonna be talking fire salt honey today. That's right, we're gonna teach you how to make a spicy honey. The great thing is, you know, lamb is good with cranberry sauce, or great with mint jelly, some chutneys. This hot honey is super cool. We're excited about that as well. What do we have for lamb options? Well, check it out. We've got some lamb chops for you. This is an easy, fun little thing to do. But today we're gonna be talking about our friend, the lamb rack. We're gonna teach you how to make lamb lollipops, right? A pretty cool thing. We're gonna do our food flyover too and talk a little bit about how we selected our lamb for today to make sure that when your local grocery store or market, you can find the best lamb possible. Side dishes, you ask? Well, heck, there's Brussels sprouts. You can roast Brussels sprouts. We found this cool thing too, cauliflower hash, kind of that new fun, fangled trend is that rice cauliflower. Well, we've got a lot of options for you today. We're gonna get cooking here. We're gonna have a lot of fun. If you want to join us on this fun adventure we're taking this year, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the subscribe button. We'll get an email and send you a notification when all of our Red Vest approved videos drop. And we have more than just cooking videos. We have tons and tons of content on YouTube. So spread the word, tell your friends. We're excited to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Let's get cooking. Okay, so you know it's time once again for that food flyover where we love to give you a glimpse at the ingredients and talk a little bit about what we're using. So today we're gonna be featuring our fire salt. We're gonna make a really fun fire salt honey. So we're gonna add fire salt to some honey, and then we're gonna add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. We went with the unfiltered apple cider vinegar. It has a little bit of the mother, and the mother is what they use to produce vinegar. I like this because it gives me just a big, hearty, robust flavor of vinegar. Then, here's what we're talking about today. We're talking about lamb. It is springtime, so it's time to have some lamb on your menu, right? Well, look at this. We have some loin chops as well. If you don't want to do the lamb chops, the loin chops come already pre-cut. But today, we're going to show you how to cut this guy. We're going to show you how to take a Frenched lamb rack and turn it into what we call lamb lollipops. Well, how do we select the lamb? This is what we find in our grocery store. How do we see and know if this is good? Well, one of the things we look for, we're looking for a product of USA. We love US lamb. Today, we are fortunate to be cooking with Colorado lamb, which is awesome. What else do I look for? I try to get a glimpse in here to see how big that eye is, and that's kind of what I'm looking for in there. I like to just kind of look and see, do I have a nice big eye? Or if you look from this side, look at that. That's what I'm looking for. That big, beautiful eye, I know is going to make a fantastic, big, juicy lamb lollipop for us. A couple other things. We've got our Game On rub that we're gonna use today. We're just using a light olive oil. I like the light oils for sauteing and grilling. It works great. Obviously, we have our beautiful, wonderful Gloveworks grills. And in case you don't wanna burn the lamb bones, the rib bones, right? We have a little bit of foil. We're gonna show you how to foil that to keep those nice and clean. Side dishes? What do you think we should do for a side dish? We have a lot of options. The cauliflower hash is great. Saute that nice and hot and fresh. Add a little bit of garlic, ginger, roasted Brussels sprouts. Come on, it doesn't get any better than that. You can steam them, you can roast them whole, you can slice them as well. So that's what we're doing. We're talking all things lamb today. Why? Because it's big green egg and lamb day. So we've got our pan turned on to high, and what we're gonna do is add our 4 cups of honey. Now, you can easily cut this recipe in half if you want, but I'm telling you what, I wrote it for a big serving size and a big recipe because this hot honey goes so good on everything. Wicked good on lamb. We use it on chicken wings. We use it on everything. So enjoy this little gem. This is something fun that we had on some pork sliders we made. So we've added our honey, right? We've got our 4 cups in there. And like I said, this is a big recipe because we like to get a little bit of stretch out of it. we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar. And again, we're using the apple cider vinegar that has the mother in it. Then we're gonna add our fire salt. And again, 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. Add what you prefer. I like it a little bit spicier. I like it to have a little bit of heat as well. All right. And we'll let that come to a boil, and then we're gonna reduce it to a simmer, and we're gonna let it simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes to get that fire salt in there. The cool thing about this, we're not gonna strain this. We're gonna leave this nice and juicy and full of fire salt. That's gonna keep this honey nice and hot for a while. It may even bloom and get a little bit hotter for you. So look at how beautiful that is. And you can see that honey's already starting to tint a little bit red from our fire salt. We just wanna let this simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we will be good to go. Fire salt honey is done, and look at that. Look how beautiful and ruby red that is. We're gonna let this cool for just a minute, and then like I said earlier, we're gonna store this in mason jars, most of it in mason jars, so that we have it for later, and then we're also gonna store one in a squirt bottle, so we have it ready to go when it's time to serve our lamb. Well, as promised, we said we were gonna teach you how to cut some beautiful lamb lollipops. And as you can see here, we already cut some lollipops. And look at this. This is what I love about Colorado lamb. Look at the marbling in here. That is beautiful, beautiful, wonderful Colorado lamb. We love it because, why? It eats unlike anything else. It is raised with altitude, right? And we think that altitude makes a huge difference in the taste of our lamb. So what did we buy at the store? We went in and asked for a Frenched lamb rack, and that's what we got. They've already Frenched the top of the bones like this. What we're gonna do is process this a little bit further into what we call lollipops. So if you look at this end here, what I'm looking for on this eye is, I'm looking for where the eye ends, and where I find it, I'm gonna make a mark. Then I'm gonna turn it, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I look for where the eye ends, I make a mark. Now, let's connect the dots. We're gonna cut all the way down to the bone. That's important. We wanna remove this entire little piece here. Next, we leave our knife laying on the bone, and we're just gonna follow the bones out, and we're gonna remove this piece as well. What we're trying to get is get this totally cleaned and get us ready for lollipops. All right, set that to the side. Next, there's another little cap on the top here. Usually super easy just to remove by hand, very little knife work needed. If so, you're making just some quick, easy little cuts. I grab this little guy out of the way, and I'm gonna leave some of this fat on there. See that? I have a nice, beautiful coating of fat, nice, small, thin layer. That is exactly what I'm looking for. This is gonna help really deliver that true lamb flavor. All right, now we're left with this. We've got some connective tissue and some stuff in between the chops. We're gonna go ahead and just trim this down and remove that, right? Quick and easy, I follow along each side of the rib. I come down to the end, I make a little turn, and that's what I do. I clean that off. You can take it a step further if you'd like and trim these or scrape them 100% of the way to get that off. I leave them pretty much like this. It just makes it a little bit easier for me when I'm cooking at home. All right, we'll do that one as well. And we've got a beautiful 8-bone rack here, which means we have 8 chops coming off here. So now we cut right in between, all the way down to our board, and that is what, that is so beautiful. Look at that right there. That is a beautiful Colorado lamb chop, lamb lollipop. Isn't that great? Nice thing about these are gonna be hearty, they're gonna eat good. I usually figure about 2 chops a person if they're this big. Great way to display them on your plate. Set them like that, we've got them all set. When you get into a smaller chop like this, maybe you're looking at 3 chops. But again, it's all going to depend on how hearty everyone at your event is eating, okay? So again, we started with a beautiful Frenched rack of lamb, beautiful Colorado lamb. We Frenched it down even further, trimmed all this parts out to turn it into lamb lollipops. All right, next up, we're gonna show you how to get these seasoned, get them all set and ready, and then we're gonna head out and show you how to finish up our big green egg and lamb for the day. Well, it's time to season these guys up. One of the things I do, just using a brush, I like to go through here and brush these guys down with a little bit of olive oil, right? Just to get it started. Nothing too crazy, just a light coat. We're gonna help that rub stick to this, get these lamb chops well seasoned. And as you can see, I'm taking off the first side, if I have any extra, and just turning that onto the second side as well. All right, nice and easy, nothing too crazy. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and take some of our Game On rub. And we've got sumac in here. We've got pearl brown sugar, a little bit of parsley, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of honey powder, lots of good stuff. Now, we're gonna give these guys a flip. Oh man, they smell so good. The great thing about this is an easy, fast recipe, right? We're talking maybe an hour of marinade time to let this rub kind of do its thing. Look at that. You can see those pearls of brown sugar in there. And season as light or as heavy as you like. Our rubs are lower in sodium, high in flavor. We're gonna give it a little pack to keep it on there, but look at that. That's what we're looking for, a beautiful, well-seasoned chop. Now, what I'll do is continue to put my chops in here, and I'm gonna let them sit and marinate for a little bit. Like I said, probably about an hour. I want this rub to get nice and tacky. And then again, when you get ready to cook, if you think they need a little bit more rub, go ahead and give them a little. Sometimes I like a little bit in the beginning, a little bit during the process, and maybe just a little bit at the very end. Always being sure not to over season them, right? Look at that. We are here at our Big Green Egg. Why? Because well, it's Big Green Egg and Lamb Day, that's why. All right, so we've got this all prepped, and check it out. We're using our Rockwood lump today. We love this lump charcoal. We're also using our loaf lighter. We want to get this thing going in a hurry. You could use fire starters. You can use a loaf lighter. We definitely like the loaf because it gets the party started a lot faster for us as well. And there's an egg lighter that you can use. They call it the egg lighter. Lots of good options for you. We thought we'd show you one of our favorites. So what I'm doing here is, you can hear, I've got the fan on, I've got the heat on, and I'm just getting down in the lump. I'm gonna get this fire lit, and we're gonna bring this Big Green Egg up to about 450, 500 degrees in the center. The great thing about lighting it in the middle is I get a nice hot fire in the middle, but what I'm actually doing then is creating a little bit of indirect around the edges. That beautiful red ember building down there is exactly what we're looking for. We wanna just touch the charcoal. You can actually see we've got a little bit of fire already. Once we get a little fire, we're gonna pull it back, and we are gonna go right over that to get this charcoal lit. I'm gonna build a nice hot pile of embers in the middle here. I want the center to build up super, super hot, because then as I pull out around the edges, I've got a little more indirect heat, and then right in the middle I've got direct heat. So I'm actually using this kind of multi-purpose. With the grill grate, I'm not gonna even use our plate setter or convector. I'm gonna throw the grill grates on here and have the ability to sear them hot and fast in the middle, pull them off to finish on the side. And that's the beauty of our lighter. Nice and fast. We're gonna go from 0 to 500 here, I bet you, about 15, 20 minutes tops. Look at that. Right in the middle, we've got super, super hot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our loin chops, then we're gonna add our rib chops right in the center, because what we're trying to do again, I'm using the center to get them nice and hot and to get a sear, and then we're gonna move them out around the edges. Hey, wait a minute though. What's with the foil? Okay, so guess what? Here's a good chef tip for you. If you are afraid that the bones will get too dark from grilling, I usually will wrap mine with foil. However, for the most part, you're gonna grill these hot and fast. That shouldn't be an issue, but just a good little chef's tip for you. If you wanna keep that bone nice and white, nice and clean for presentation's sake, wrap it with a little bit of foil. So again, look at what we did. We are right over the middle of this, nice and hot. We're gonna cook in the center, then when they sear, we're gonna move them to the outside, close the lid, and let them finish off. Hey, guess what? Temperature-wise, there is a common misconception that lamb's gotta be served medium rare. I feel lamb is at its best, hearty, beautiful, rich flavor at about medium, about 130 degrees. And how do I keep track? Well, we've got a great little Weber thermometer for you, and we also have a nice digital instant read. So we're gonna check this temperature here in just a little bit after we get a good sear. We've got a great sear going on these guys. Let's take a check of the temperature super quick. So I'm going right into the center of it with my instant read. Look at that. It's time to pull these guys because they are done. That's the beauty of an instant read thermometer. Quick and easy to check temps. All right, look at that. We're gonna do a little fire salt honey over the top of these guys. And that right there, that's green egg and lamb. All right, well, there you have it. It was the end of another YouTube Red Vest approved video, and this time we had Big Green Egg and Lamb. The Big Green Egg performed flawlessly, and what's great about this, we have that beautiful, hearty, robust charcoal flavor now on our lamb, celebrating that with our Game On rub, finishing it with a little bit of fire salt honey. So once again, where can you grab the recipes? You can go to acehardware.com/tips and advice. In the little search bar up there, type in recipes. You can download this recipe and all the other fun recipes that we've posted throughout last year and this year as well. And be sure to subscribe. Tell your friends, spread the word. This YouTube channel is hot. We have tons of helpful content for you, from backyard grilling to how to pick a paint color, how to use a palm sander, lots of cool stuff. But today, we're talking big green egg and lamb. So I'm Chef Jason Morse, your Ace Hardware grill expert. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time to cook with us. Happy cooking and happy lamb.